Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly fascinating psychological phenomenon: why people often wake up one day and feel completely disconnected from their younger, more vibrant selves. It's a profound journey into the human mind, so let's just dive right in. Have you ever looked at an old childhood photo, or maybe just caught a sudden, unexpected glimpse in the mirror and thought, wait, what happened? Just take a second to reflect on that jarring moment. You're looking at a laughing, dreaming person, but the person reflecting back feels like a total stranger. It's an incredibly common experience, and honestly, it leaves behind this quiet, lingering sense of loss.
But here's the thing, it isn't your age, it's you. Or, more accurately, it's a quiet internal shift in how the brain actually processes the world over time. Psychology shows us that this deep disconnect isn't simply about getting older, finding gray hairs, or dealing with an aching back. No, it's about a fundamental shift in perception and mental processing.
Part 1. The Buried Identity.
You see, a person's core personality doesn't just magically vanish overnight. It isn't permanently deleted from the brain. Instead, people experience what's called identity drift. This is the slow, almost unnoticeable process where a person's original identity gets buried under the compounding layers of daily life. It doesn't happen because of one big, dramatic, cinematic trauma. Nope. It happens through hundreds, even thousands, of tiny moments that slowly pull individuals away from who they used to be. Think of it like dust slowly settling over a vibrant painting until the original colors are just completely obscured.
So what exactly are these heavy layers? Well, they're made up of everyday experiences, disappointments, betrayals, daily responsibilities. People give up their favorite hobbies because, let's face it, the adult schedule is just too busy. People stop dreaming big because the realities of life keep delivering letdowns. These everyday experiences add heavy, gray layers that slowly bury a person's colorful true nature. Little by little, individuals start living a life that simply no longer feels authentic.
Part 2. Survival over happiness. Now, this is where human biology and evolutionary psychology completely take the wheel. Notice the stark contrast between these two mindsets. The vibrant, open desire of youth asks what makes people happy, but after experiencing real adult stress, the brain shifts to its ultimate overarching job: what keeps people safe? The human brain really has one primary function, and it isn't fulfillment, joy, or self-actualization. It's literally just to keep a person alive. After facing enough stress in the real world, the brain fundamentally shifts its priorities away from happiness and squarely onto pure safety.
Eventually, people become built around protection instead of passion. As folks take fewer risks and actively avoid vulnerability to prevent getting hurt again, they unknowingly build a robotic, armored version of themselves. Individuals become quieter in meetings. People avoid opening up in relationships. The brain learned that being vulnerable hurts, so it constructed an impenetrable fortress, leaving the passion itself locked safely away inside.
Moving on to Part 3. The Routine Trap.
It turns out, this disconnection has absolutely nothing to do with trauma or heartbreak, and literally everything to do with the sheer grinding monotony of daily adult life. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat. Contrast this never-ending automatic loop with childhood. Back then, almost every single day brought new teachers, new friends, new places, and vibrant new experiences. The young brain was constantly firing, creating fresh, vivid memories. In adulthood, however, the loop becomes practically identical day after day.
And when life feels automatic, people stop feeling connected. The human brain essentially goes on autopilot, ceasing to store unique memories when every single day is identical. That's exactly why months start feeling like mere weeks, and entire years seem to just disappear in the blink of an eye. Time vanishes, and in the process of rushing through the routine, people entirely lose touch with their core identity.
Part 4. The Memory Illusion.
You know, the human mind can be incredibly unfair. Today's current reality is full of everyday ordinary stress: paying bills, sitting in traffic, handling deadlines. But the past memory? That is essentially a carefully edited highlight reel. The brain naturally only saves the most emotional, colorful, and exciting moments from the past. So, when people compare a highly stressful Tuesday morning today to the absolute best summer days of their youth, it's a completely rigged game. Of course, the present feels worse. The reality is being compared to an impossible standard.
Part 5. The Comparison Trap.
To make matters worse, modern technology severely exacerbates this exact feeling of a lost, inadequate identity. Every single scroll tells the brain that others are simply doing it better. They appear happier, more successful, more attractive, and like they're living a substantially better life. Endlessly scrolling through a glowing phone in a dark room, staring at these seemingly perfect and exciting lives, drastically compounds feelings of isolation and inadequacy. It is a massive digital weight pressing down on an already buried identity.
It begs the question, why are you not like them? This constant digital comparison forces people to completely stop wondering who they actually are. Instead, it pushes everyone further and further away from their true selves, replacing genuine self-discovery with endless, unachievable envy. The focus shifts entirely outward, leaving the internal self completely neglected.
Which brings us to the final section, Part 6, Rediscovering the Spark.
Fortunately, this psychological drift is absolutely not permanent. The version of you that is missed isn't gone, it's just buried. Psychology proves time and time again that identity is never permanently lost. That colorful, energetic, passionate spark of youth is still glowing right beneath the heavy expectations, the stress, and the fear. The old self didn't just pack up and leave, it's simply waiting patiently to be uncovered.
Now, reconnecting doesn't require completely uprooting life, quitting a job, or moving to the mountains. It starts incredibly small. One new habit, one honest conversation, one brave decision. Maybe that new habit is just taking a different scenic route to work. Maybe that honest conversation is finally telling a loved one how exhausted the routine really makes things feel. Positive change happens gradually. By taking just one small action, people can slowly remember and uncover their old self. Individuals don't suddenly become someone else. They slowly forget who they were. And the truly beautiful part is, they can slowly remember again.
So, have you looked in the mirror recently and felt changed in ways you simply can't explain? Take a moment today to reflect on this journey. What is one word to describe the feelings experienced lately? Just naming it, acknowledging those feelings, is the very first vital step toward finding that true self again. The identity is still there, waiting to be rediscovered. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep uncovering the real you.